Attorney General Jeff Sessions testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee and stated that any suggestion that he colluded with Russia during the 2016 presidential campaign was a detestable lie, while also stating that he recused himself because of the president. Plus, President Trump called the House health care bill mean and says the Senate should spend more time on the bill and make it generous and kind with heart. Joining us to discuss these topics and more, please welcome back BMCC professor and my friend, J.C. Polanco. Nice to have you with us. And also my friend, too, owner of Retrovision Media, Lee Bynes. Nice to have you.
There you go.
J.C., let's start with the Jeff Sessions thing. Rather than ask specifics, what was your impression, I guess, of not only Sessions, but that testimony in context with the whole Russia investigation?
Look, I think that Attorney General Sessions is in a tough position. He just heard former FBI Director Comey talk about how he actually recused himself because of some top secret information that he's not allowed to share in the public arena, which made Attorney General Sessions look terrible. So he was walking in under a cloud of suspicion. So I think that yesterday was a very tough day for Attorney General Sessions. He was defending himself constantly. We heard a lot of, I don't remember, I don't recall. He feels that this is a witch hunt. You can tell in his eyes that he thinks that there's something going on and that he wants to make sure that the senators don't accuse him of lying. So I saw that hearing yesterday, and as a Republican, I'm hoping that there's nothing there. But one thing they can do to help themselves is just to stop saying I don't remember and answer the question.
I was just going to ask you that. Did he not help himself?
No, he didn't. He didn't help himself. And I think that, by doing that, viewers are going to believe that there's something that they're hiding. And if there's nothing that they're hiding, stop being funny and just answer the damn question.
And then, of course, if in fact he is hiding something and says the wrong thing, then of course you've got a pretty serious situation. Mm-hmm. What's your perspective?
Well, my take on it is just a tad bit broader than that. I think not only is Jeff Sessions having issues, but the entire administration is having difficulties, because this goes back before Sessions. Let's take this back to last Wednesday when the DNI, Dan Coates, and the NSA chief, Mike Rogers, did the same thing. Essentially, they came out, gave no legal justification for not answering the questions that were being asked. And they pretty much relied on the fact that they felt it was inappropriate to, expose private conversations with the president. When that happened, it placed Jim Comey on an island, essentially, because he had nobody to corroborate his word. When the president on Friday came out and intimated that he was willing to, well, not intimated, directly stated that he would be willing to testify under oath himself that Comey lied, we find now that there's an entire scenario building with a lot of steam that, yes, there is definitely something indeed being hidden.
Do you think that, and maybe this is a better question for JC, but I'll give you the first crack at it. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Republicans on the Senate Intelligence Committee, and maybe Republicans in general, are willing to go as far as they need to go to find out whether something nefarious happened here? Or as you watch the questioning, you're getting one kind of questioning from one party and one kind of questioning from the other. Hang on, you'll get a whack at it. Okay. He goes first.
Here's what
because I know you have something to say about it.
Here's what I'm thinking. The Republicans, until something comes up, until there's something that actually comes out that you can hang your hat on. Right now, we're just looking at smoke, and that's the reason why I think the Republicans are holding their fire right now. They're giving the president a benefit of a doubt. Whether or not, with all of these things going on, and how easily it is to make a prima facie case for obstruction of justice, they're just not going to do anything.
What's your thought? And you undoubtedly talk, maybe not to federal officials, but you talk to local Republicans. What are they thinking?
The Democrats right now are acting holier than thou. It's as if they've never played the committee hearing game of asking preferential questions to people in your own party. All we have to see is the last 8 years under President Obama. For every hearing that we had, whether it was the IRS scandal or Benghazi, every Democrat asked the positive question. So now we see Republicans asking questions that you believe may be leaning, and everybody's up in arms. The reality is this. This is what we do know. The former director Comey said that President Trump was not under investigation. That we know. Senator Warner.
Although that may change,
No,
of course.
of
with
course,
the
a lot of
question
things may change. I may have
obstruction.
apps tomorrow. Who knows, right? But that's not. I mean, that's not reality. So as of now, we know that Director Comey said that there is no investigation on the president, and we also saw Senator Warner say that he has not found any evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. And this is a man with top secret clearance.
Right.
So what we do know is that for now, before the final report is out by Special Counsel Mueller, we are looking at a president who has been, in so many words, vindicated from all of the attacks that we continue to see, including this latest one that you've just launched.
Well, if in
Be
fact,
quick, because I want to move to the health.
I certainly will. If in fact the president feels vindicated, he can actually make sure of that by just admitting whether or not the tapes exist. If they do, they will exonerate him. If they don't, he's got another problem.
Again, we'll start with you, JC, on the healthcare thing. Now, it was widely criticized. The healthcare bill, the House healthcare bill, was widely criticized because many people felt that it was mean. The president said it's a great deal. He pushed it. He pushed it. He pushed it. And now he wakes up this morning, realizes, well, you know what, maybe it wasn't that nice, and it was going to hurt a lot of Americans. So it was a mean bill. Let's let the Senate do something better. Really, do they have any idea what they're doing?
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't even know what's happening half of the time, Gary.
Well,
Sir,
the
I
fact is nobody knows what's happening because
I'm
the
like,
Senate
what's
has
going
kept
on
it
here?
undercover.
Look, the reality, this could be the genius of Donald Trump. Believe it or not, hold up, this could be. I said could be, right? Think about it.
story.
He secures his base supporting him no matter what by pushing in this tough
And then he
and
could
Obamacare. And then he goes to the Senate and says, I'm a few votes shy. Let me bring those guys over. And now he looks like a deal maker.
Let me ask you something. This came up during the debates. Hillary Clinton, when it came up to Obamacare, Hillary Clinton said there are problems with Obamacare. We need to take what's good, and we can review what those items are and reform it. And then the Republicans said, no, the whole thing's got to go. But isn't that exactly what they're doing now?
I think that's what's going to end up happening. And I think, well, that's what former Speaker John Boehner said was going to happen. He says you're going to take Obamacare, and then you're just going to tweak it to make it better. At the end of the day, that's what we're going to see.
And the problem is that the president, and nobody wants to give the number 44 credit for doing something that lasts a little bit. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on it is that the president essentially threw his own party under the bus. He was the one who held a big rally. He had a bus full of senators come over. I'm sorry, a bus full of Congress people from the House to come over, stand on the Rose Garden lawn, and have this big situation. Now these people have to go back to their town halls and meet with their constituents and explain to them why they voted for a mean bill. Not only that, but the bulk of those who are being affected is coming from Donald Trump's constituents in those areas. And these people are going to have to face the 2018 election, and it is not going to be pretty.
I'm going to do something really unfair. We're going to break out of the topics. Everybody's talking about you running for public advocate. Is it true?
Yeah, I'm running.
Are you an announced candidate for public
announced.
An announced Republican candidate. Boy, we'll have to get you on Bronx Talk and really go through that. We'll give you a chance of one statement of why you want to do something like that.
I think it's important, and why not? We should have a conversation. Honestly, we should have a conversation about a lot of the issues that are affecting New Yorkers. And I couldn't just sit down another year and just not be part of the conversation.
I couldn't sit down here and do this interview without asking you that. JC Polanco and Lee Bynes, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll take a break. We'll be back with more Open right after this.